Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke Thanksgiving special, bringing you the reasons we're broke, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Daniel.
And this week's episode is brought to you by Audible.
Sign up today and get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
There's over 150,000 titles to choose from, all available on your Android device, Kindle, and iPhone.
We have a little more than just Thanksgiving on this week's episode. We actually have a Black Friday special because we will both be working on Thanksgiving Day and on Black Friday.
And every day for the rest of the holiday season.
Yeah, there's no days off, so we figured we would record early on while we still have a little bit of time, a little downtime early in the week. Release the episode hopefully before Black Friday. I'll get this edited on my free time, and it'll be right out there for everyone to listen to. Hopefully we'll be right back on schedule next week. We won't have comic book reviews this week because, again, we don't have comics yet. We are recording this pretty early in the week, but we rather have some episode out there instead of no content. And we actually do have quite a bit of news and some Black Friday specials we want to cover this week.
For any new listeners, typically the way we format our shows, we start out with some news and we follow up with comic book reviews. As Dan just said, we don't have any comics this week, but we do have quite a bit of news.
So first bit of movie news, we actually saw the Pan trailer that released today.
Don't get your hopes up, guys. It's not Pan's Labyrinth 2.
No, but it does have pirates, so I knew you would be all over that. And it has Hugh Jackman, so I'm all over that.
This Pan trailer is for Peter Pan. Disney's been on this live-action recreation of their movies, which is great. I'm really excited for Cinderella. Maleficent was amazing. And now we have Pan.
Yeah, the makeup looks great. The special effects look awesome. I didn't see any pandering through 3D, even though it will be in 3D. And I love Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is a great actor.
He stole that trailer.
Absolutely did. He's the star of my favorite movie of all time, The Fountain.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that he's in, I will most likely watch.
He's not too bad to look at either.
Nope, not at all. And it looks like Hook is actually going to be a hero in this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is like obviously it's a prequel to the whole Peter Pan story, but it is deviating from what I understand to what the regular story is. I don't think the original novel just started at Hook as a villain, and then you have Peter Pan saving the kids, taking them on an adventure, right?
I believe so, and the villain in this is Hugh Jackman, or Blackbeard, and Tiger Lily is much older instead of younger, like she was in the cartoon. So it'll be really interesting. I think Pan and Captain Hook will still have a falling out at the end, which will lead into the events, which I think is amazing. That's a great plot idea. It's nice to see everything switched up just a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. If you check out the trailer, it is up on YouTube. Type in Pan Disney trailer. I think it'll pull up on there. But we actually caught it on newsarama.com. I also have a movie review for everyone out there, all the brokettes. I just went and saw Dumb and Dumber 2. That's spelled T-O, not 2. So this is 20 years, I want to say it is, 20 years after the first Dumb and Dumber movie. And
now, Dumb and Dumber is one of your favorite movies.
Not one of my top 10 or anything like that. It's very fun. I like to watch it. It's not my favorite Jim Carrey movie. It's actually The Cable Guy. I love The Cable Guy. But I really do like the first Dumb and Dumber. This one, you had the same directors. Mm-hmm. So, it had the recipe to be amazing. But it fell into that trap of sequels where they go back to the original jokes from the first movie instead of trying to build upon what the first one did. So a great example of that, of something that did work out, was Monsters University. It did sprinkle in a couple of the jokes from Monsters, Inc., but it didn't rely on them. Whereas Dumb and Dumber 2, they redo the most annoying sound in the world gag, and the gag at the very end where they have an opportunity to score on some girls or whatever, and they think completely different things. They also even made them dumber than what they were in the first one. In the first one, when they said dumb shit, but it wasn't just like them being stupid. It was more like, I'm trying to think of the great example. Like, this is a $500 a plate dinner, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And he's like, oh, well, here's 4 in case we want seconds. And then they continue. Like, it's just like, it's spot on, immediate, fast.
Right.
Comedy's much quicker there. But here, it's not quite the same. It doesn't quite capture... I didn't want it to capture the magic from the first movie, but I did want it to be something that stands on its own, and it unfortunately didn't do that. And again, it did rely on the gags from the first one, but I mean, it's for what it was fine. I would have rather rented it at this point, but I just couldn't wait. I really wanted to see it.
That's sad. It's so sad, but they made a buck.
Yeah, it's doing really well in the box office. So I think it would have been a true tragedy if it just failed. And Jim Carrey, I mean, this is the only sequel he's done next to Ace Ventura, which was almost 20 years ago. So first time he's actually come back to a role.
Next up, we have some comic book news. This is actually involving Rat Queens, which is a wonderful comic if you guys haven't checked it out. Rock Upchurch, the artist behind the Rat Queens comic from Image, has been taken off the comic following his arrest for domestic abuse.
We read the first trade paperback, really enjoyed it, and Rat Queens has been optioned to become a cartoon years from now. And it is a comic that a lot of readers, especially the younger readers, have gravitated towards, and the female readers as well have really latched onto this book because it is mainly a female cast of heroes. They're funny, they're quirky, the art was amazing. We love that first arc. We reviewed it months ago. And to have something like this come up where it's domestic abuse, it's like shit. Like there's no way they can touch this guy now.
Right, absolutely.
Curtis Wiebe, the author on the comic, put out a personal statement on his website. He said, "This is a difficult and upsetting statement to write. I couldn't have imagined something I love so dearly would become connected to domestic violence. As of today, Rock Upchurch will no longer be illustrating Rat Queens. This is going to be a transitionary period for the series as we rebuild and prepare for a new start."
I think it was a very smart decision to take him off the book, though.
You have to. Like, there is no other option at this point. And one of the craziest comments I read online, his whole statement is on his blog, but this is just the main idea of it, the main announcement. He does say that he loves this guy, he loves Rock, he's met his family, he's eaten with them, and they're great people. And one comment said, well, if you love him so much, why would you take away his only job, his only way to earn money? And, I mean, he did that when he committed domestic abuse. Like, you do that yourself, to yourself. And the best comment I read in rebuttal to that was, you can still love someone and treat them as an adult. That's what being an adult is.
Wow, yeah.
And, you know, it is one of those things. It's just a moment of healing at this point for Rock Upchurch, if you can even heal this and sort of move on. He's obviously disappeared from the internet. You have to just step away and deal with your personal problems before you come back. More importantly for Rat Queens, this obviously will delay the book in some way. And Rick from Those Two Jerks brought up, like, how are they going to give producer credit when they come out with the cartoon?
Yeah, I hope it's something that he can work through and get work again, because I did love the art in Rat Queens. I thought it fit the tone very well.
With them finding a new artist, how do you think it's really going to affect the book and everything that's happened? Do you think it's going to affect sales now that the whole thing is occurring?
I don't think it'll affect sales. You know, this comic is mainly geared towards women, and I don't think any woman would be, well, because he did that, you know, I'm not going to get this book. They took the right actions to remove him from this book. If they had kept him on, yes, that would have affected sales. But I think them removing him, it's not going to affect anything at all. Yes, it happened, but when I think of this book, I don't think of, oh, the guy who drew this, that's what he did. I still look at the book as the book.
It's understandable, and hopefully people that are picking up Rat Queens can still enjoy the book in spite of all of this happening and in spite of the new look that the book will inevitably have.
Moving on to some lighter movie news, Warner Brothers has reportedly signed on their director for Wonder Woman.
This is Michelle MacLaren, who has previously directed episodes from hit TV shows like The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad.
My favorite comment out of this story: I'd be more surprised if they got a woman to direct Man of Steel 2 or the Batman reboot.
There is no winning with anything that Warner Brothers is doing right now. Like, Wonder Woman's coming out, right? And they're talking about who they're going to get to direct it, and you're seeing comments like, who else can understand the character of Wonder Woman better than, like, a woman, a female character?
A strong female character.
So they go out, they get a female director for the movie, and you get comments like this, like, well, yeah, they'll do it for this, but it'd be even better if they did it for something like Man of Steel 2. But then if they got a man for this, they would have been like, well, why'd you get a guy for a movie like Wonder Woman?
A man doesn't understand women. Ugh.
By the way, that Wonder Woman comic, before, you know, the Finches took over, was a really solid run. really solid run, and it wasn't just women working on the book or anything like that. But my whole point on this is, whatever move they do, they're going to be in the wrong. They're doing everything wrong. So Warner Brothers, just do it.
You know what? Let's just get Gail Simone to write this too. Strong woman, write the book.
That's something that they should do more with movies, is get some more comic book writers
involved
that understand the characters way more. I mean, how great would it be to see a Batman movie written by Paul Dini or Bruce Timm?
Or both, and then they could animate it in Bruce Timm style.
Right.
And release episodes and call it Batman the Drawn series.
Well, you know, Paul Dini did write a screenplay with Bruce Timm of a live-action Batman Beyond movie at one point. Been
so good.
And they said that the way they were treated, like, they were just like, oh, you guys are just cartoon writers and you write the funnies in the comics. So they were completely not respected when it came to their story. And they had already, like, wanted to make a bunch of changes to what they presented. So he said it was a really unpleasant experience, and he never wants to write a feature film ever.
Oh, wow.
Because of that.
Wow, that's so sad. Curse you, movie people!
I think as we move forward, we're getting better with who we actually trust to get on these movies, and we'll see. But I'm really excited for Wonder Woman. More for Shazam and Batman v Superman, but I really want Wonder Woman to be good.
I hope it is too.
Something Al said, one of our friends, he's been on the podcast before, has his own Let's Play channel, the Purple Swordfish Show. He said, I wouldn't care if a robot directed it. I just want it to be a really good movie. So, robot overlords in the future, if you're listening to this, we are totally on your side, equal robotic rights and all of that. You can clone us back to life. We are tolerant.
As long as you create good movies.
So now we have some TV show talk.
Yes, the production of NBC's Constantine will be stopped after this first 13-episode season.
So that kind of came sort of as a bit of a shock. I don't know. In spite of this time slot that Constantine has had, it is still in contention for a second season thanks to the 38% increase in viewership from last week's episode. There has also been a rise in numbers on delayed viewership. So that's stuff like Hulu, or if you watch it on NBC.com.
8 episodes still remain. NBC will use those numbers for those final episodes to determine whether a second season is warranted.
On Twitter, there's the hashtag #SaveConstantine. The producers, makers of the show, people working on it are saying the best thing you can do is watch. Just watch the show. Like, numbers are gonna show the network that another season needs to happen.
Because I guess it doesn't suck too bad.
You really like it. Just admit it for once.
Plug your ears. I will say this to the listeners.
All right, I'll plug my ears.
Just plug your ears.
No.
It's a really good show. Everybody should watch it, but don't tell Danny because he thinks I hate it. Okay, I told them that it kind of sucked and they shouldn't really watch it.
Well, I'm really liking Constantine. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. We're watching them all on Hulu.
You know, I guess if you liked Constantine, the characters are engaging and the stories are interesting and the effects look pretty good. If you like Constantine and that stuff.
I'm glad we got 13 episodes regardless of what they end up going with. I personally really enjoy it, so save Constantine. Watch Constantine. If you haven't watched it, check it out. You won't be sorry. It's a lot of fun. Moving
into some video games, we saw a trailer for Ace Chemicals in Arkham Knight.
Yeah, this trailer is going to get its continuation December 1st. You can watch it on YouTube, on Arkham Knight. I think it's ArkhamKnightGame.com or ArkhamKnight.com. But it was an extensive trailer, probably about 3 to 4 minutes, of Batman rescuing someone from the Ace Chemical plants, beating people up along the way, and confronting the Arkham Knight.
Why does Batman have to be every girl's dream, but someone none of us can have? He could save me from Ace Chemicals plant.
Well, that's what makes him so desirable.
He comes in there with all his muscles and he's like, I'm taking you out of here. And I'm like, okay, Batman. And he just like puts me in his little roller coaster seat because it's kind of what that is.
He had a little roller coaster seat on the back of the Batmobile that he transports people in. And it wasn't silly at all. It's like, fuck yeah, Batman has a roller coaster seat in the back. How else are you going to keep people safe when he's tumbling around and shooting robots?
So cool. I will say something I really liked about this trailer. It seems like there's going to be a lot more cinematic shots in this game than we saw in the last one, which is great because they're beautiful and it gives you that anticipation because you're like, okay, I'm going to jump on you and you're going to jump on him. But then it slows and you're like, oh, I'm going to jump on and then you jump on him.
And it really does look like a current gen game. Like everything looks sharp. The water animation and the rain, everything that should look wet does look wet, and it's way more accurate than you do have on, let's say, last gen's PS3 and 360. And it's a great looking game. I'm really happy that they took that extra year to polish it out, whether it was the graphics or the textures or the gameplay, story, whatever. I'm willing to wait another half a year for this because it looks amazing. Something else they added to the mechanics for the fighting, before you can, take down enemies every time Rocksteady makes a new Batman game, they add something more to the fighting and all of that. They added the double takedown, triple takedown, which was amazing in the last couple of games. Now they have a new tactic where in the past, if enemies see you and shoot you, they are like dead on, like they rarely miss, and Batman, you have to get away, hide in a gargoyle, and come back and scare them. This time there's some...
Ooh, that always scares them.
Picks them up by their throat and, interrogates them. But this time he actually dodges, like if he goes after the first person, takes their gun, as he's hitting them, since he's moving, the second person misses. But this is all a part of the new locking mechanic. It's a new takedown where it doesn't matter if they are actually shooting you, he will find ways to evade the bullets as he takes each person out one by one. It's really amazing. I'm sure it's like an intimidation tactic where they're seeing this fucking giant mass of a Batman
Sexiness.
coming after you. So I thought that was great, and also you can now use objects way more, your environment, to take down enemies. He took out a light post from the ceiling, like a little light bulb, the lamp, and just puts it over the guy's fucking head and knocks him out. Takes another guy,
over fucking head,
puts his face into like an electrocution thing, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy too.
It looks amazing. Batman looks amazing. I'm just gonna watch you play it, like on my stomach, feet kicking in the air.
If I had to like nitpick a little bit, I think the costume, I wish they did more of the Arkham City version or even the Arkham Origins one, because it looks like the cowl and the shoulders, and it just doesn't look quite right. But it's not a big thing. It's not enough to distract me. It still looks like Batman. It still sounds like Batman. It's Kevin Conroy returning. You have something similar.
It doesn't sound like Batman. It is Batman.
It is Batman.
Sir.
You're right.
Thank you.
But you did have something similar to complain about, and that's still Harley Quinn, the way she looks.
She got like a man donut face. I don't know what's going on with that face.
It's probably a part of the graphical upgrades, and they just didn't redo it exactly like in Arkham City.
It's a donut face. It looks really bad.
To be fair, we've yet to see something more than all that promotional stuff they do for the pre-orders. So hopefully when we see her in the game, it looks a little smoother, a little more like a person.
A little less like a donut?
A little less like a donut.
I'm going to call her Donut Quinn if they don't change it.
Well, it's not Harley Quinn anyway. It's not Arlene Sorkin. It's Tara Strong.
That is the truth.
Either way, I mean, you really don't have much to go off of. So now we did promise to have some Black Friday deals that we were going to share with you. These are all going to be video game related.
First up, we have the GameStop deals. They will have an Xbox One holiday bundle priced at $329.99.
It includes digital copies of Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yes, I'll go buy that one instead of the PS4s.
Like, that's a really good bundle. I see that definitely flying. It does not include the Kinect sensor, obviously, because then you'd be looking at probably a $429 system. But I think it's awesome. A lot of people are doing fine without the Kinect, and they're not really doing too much with it at the moment. So this looks like the best bundle to get as far as the Xbox One. That's what I went through. I went and picked out what I felt were the best bundles, the best values for these systems. If you find a better deal out there on any of these, find us on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke or on Facebook, and we will retweet and put out new information as the deals come through.
Absolutely. GameStop will also have a PlayStation 4 limited edition bundle priced at $399.99.
So it's the exact same price as what a PS4 would be, except it includes a physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 and a digital copy of The Last of Us Remastered.
That's awesome. Worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Absolutely. Both games, they're awesome. They're great games. Grand Theft Auto 5, you can trade it out if you don't end up liking it. Just trade it in, get credit, put it towards something else. And then The Last of Us Remastered. The Last of Us, to many people, one of the best games of last generation, if not the best. And on PS4.
They totally should have done a Kingdom Hearts bundle, and then I would have bought it.
They might do one once Kingdom of Hearts 4 comes out.
I would buy it.
Kingdom of Hearts 3.
Kingdom of Hearts?
Kingdom of Hearts.
No, Kingdom.
I said
Kingdom Hearts.
I said that to a customer the other day, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was Kingdom of Hearts. I always called it Kingdom Hearts."
You should be like, no, it's Kingdom of Hearts.
I'm like, it's Kingdom Hearts. I'm just being a dick. There was also some price drops on a lot of the big titles. Madden 15, FIFA 15, and NHL 15 for the PS4 and Xbox One are on sale at GameStop for $39.99.
Boring sports games.
Well, these are
boys.
Very popular sports games. So.
Boys sports games. Boring.
Especially the FIFA and NHL. Always solid every year.
They should have like cheerleading 15 and then I'd buy it.
Finally, we did have a nice deal on controller.
A PlayStation 4 DualShock controller for $44.99.
Brand new. Normally, I think they're $60.
Ooh.
So that's $15 off
That's
on
awesome.
your PS4 controller. I'm tempted to get one now at that point because we will eventually have a PS4 next year for Arkham Knight. So this is a good way to have... I always like to have one extra controller. One charging while I'm playing with the other, and then as soon as that one rolls out, I swap them out. That's always what I do. And I think I might get one.
That's worth it. That's a great point to bring up. Even if you know that you're going to get a PS4, go ahead and buy it now. It's $15 that you're going to save down the road.
Exactly. Just start loading up on the supplies. I already have one of the intercoolers that is actually certified to use on the PlayStation 4. I got that one at a deal too, so...
You've already priced to get it color-weared.
I'm putting money aside for that too. Absolutely. I think it's been over a year and a half that I've just been putting money for that. Either way, if anything, if I just have the PS4 and Batman, I'll be happy.
Now, Target has some bundles that I would get. None of these boring boy games. They have a Nintendo 2DS with Yoshi's New Island for $99.99.
Yeah, that is $30 off what a 2DS normally is, and you get a game with it. They also have a Nintendo 3DS XL if you want your 3D features with Mario Party Island Tour for $179.99.
That's a pretty good price also. Love the 3DS XL. I can't talk. Turn off the 3D feature if you don't like it. That's what I always do. But it's wonderful. It's a comfortable system.
Saves battery too. Both systems are great. 2DS, I always say it's great, more comfortable than a regular 3DS. If you don't want the 3D features, save yourself the, what is this, $80 at this point, and get yourself the 2DS. Sears.
Sears is still around?
Sears is definitely still around, and some of them actually do still have a video game area. I've told the story before, that's where my parents got me the Sega Genesis years ago. It was actually at Sears. They had a little glass counter with the video games behind it, and they had the systems like against a wall, and you could just buy fucking video games there. That's actually where I first tried out the Game Boy camera. You remember the Game Boy camera?
Yeah. They took like real not nice pictures.
Well, back then, it's like, holy shit, that's me printed out on a fucking video game. I'm still waiting for the game in which I can scan my face and be a player in like MLB The Show.
Oh, it'll happen.
I'm waiting for that to happen.
It'll happen. See, I always think of Sears as like power tools and treadmills.
Or refrigerators. Yeah.
Right. But if you have the Sears with video games, they will have a Nintendo 2DS for $99.99 when you purchase a game.
So that I included because it's a good alternative to the Target one. Because in this case, you can buy any game and then still get that 2DS for $100. So if you don't want to get it with Yoshi's New Island, pick out a different game. Fire Emblem is really awesome.
Oh, Fire Emblem's amazing. Pokemans.
Yeah, the new Pokemon. Smash Brothers is still really hot on the 3DS. Any of those you can pick out and get a system for $100.
That's awesome.
The last one I wanted to highlight is Meyer. You can get a Wii U bundle with Super Mario 3D World. This is the deluxe edition of the Wii U, so you do have the 32 gigs instead of the 8, and that is at a price of $279.99.
Not bad.
Normally the Wii U's are $300. You save $20. Super Mario 3D World right in there. Really good deal. So all of these are the ones that I found to be the best bundles, the best deals. Again, if you find something better, you can find the link to all of our social media networks and all of that at nerdupmedia.com.
Thank you guys for listening to our special episode. Next week, though, we will have a full episode complete with comic books and news and our picks and passes, and my pick will not be Saga, so you can all just stop telling me it will be.
We'll try to do the picks of the week from this week and include them in next week's episode, touch up on some of the books. I know we got the Batman and Robin trade, which includes everyone's reaction to Batman just being destroyed at Damian's death, so I can't wait to read that. I'm currently reading Teen Titans Earth 1, which is released. Terry Dodson, I absolutely adore, so that's why I'm reading it right now.
Is there a Robin Starfire love story?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Yes!
Like right now it's just introducing Terra and Cyborg.
But there will be a Robin Starfire love story.
There is a love story already.
With Robin and Starfire?
No, with Cyborg and Terra.
Boring.
But I'll have a review for that, and also for a couple of the comics that we touched up on. Don't forget to head on over to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. That's one of the ways you can actually help us out. Pick out any free audiobook, check it out. If you're listening to a podcast, obviously you don't mind listening to people talk, so check out a book. If you don't have time to read a book, you're like, I only read comics, I don't read fucking books. Well, then check out an audiobook. Catch you up on the latest. You can read The Hobbit on there, you can read the Superman books that we've been recommending, the Batman ones, the Marvel ones. All of that is on there. You can browse through it, it's free. audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
You can also support us through a t-shirt. For just a donation of $16.99, you can get a Nerd Up Media t-shirt. It's got our logo, comes in a variety of different colors, different sizes, men's and women's. That $16.99 donation includes your shirt and the shipping and a wonderful thank you from us over the air.
They are all made to order, so I mean it's definitely, every shirt is special, courtesy of Lazy Nerds Designs.
Sealed with a kiss.
Yeah. Exactly. But if you're saying, hey guys, I'm just as broke as you guys, this is why I listen to The Reasons I'm Broke, you can help us out by leaving a review on iTunes or on Stitcher. Every little bit helps, little reviews, it helps other people find us.
And that will do it for our podcast this week. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Yes, please be safe. None of these deals are worth getting hurt or harmed or trampled or whatever over. We still always say the best deals are right after the holidays, like in January.
The best deal is getting some sleep. Let's just be real.
Right.
Sleep is always the best deal.
Yeah, but just again, whether you're going out to shop or if you're getting out food, there's going to be a lot more traffic. Please be safe. And we'll see you next week. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
Thanks for listening.